Everything you think you know about Oregon Trail food is wrong. While everyone talks about hardship and starvation, I found pioneer diary entries describing coffee that lasted 7 uses, bread that baked itself while you walked, and jerky recipes that Native Americans taught to wagon trains. This is the cooking story history forgot. It's May 1847. You're 300 miles from Independence, Missouri, 1,500 miles from Oregon Territory. Your family's survival depends on a cast iron pot and whatever you can forage from nothing. Running out of supplies, you innovate. These weren't desperate measures. These were masterclass survival techniques passed down from mothers who understood that empty bellies meant empty graves. We panic when the power goes out for 2 hours. Pioneer families cooked 3 meals a day for 6 months straight, with no electricity, no gas, no grocery stores, and no refrigeration, and somehow created methods so brilliant we still use them in camping today. Trail guides documented these methods. Diary entries preserved this knowledge. Today, I'm taking you back. When cooking wasn't convenience, it was life or death. Stay with me. These 25 forgotten methods tell America's real migration story. Number 1. Dutch oven bread buried in coals, underground ovens created from earth and fire. Dutch oven bread cooked underground while families walked 20 miles forward. 1847, when wood was scarce and time was precious. Every morning brought the same question: how do you bake bread without an oven? Mary Johnson figured it out near Chimney Rock, Nebraska. July morning, 1848, her children needed bread, but the wagon train wouldn't wait for proper baking. Dig hole in prairie dirt. Bury cast iron Dutch oven in hot coals. Let earth become your oven while oxen pull you westward. During cholera outbreaks, buried bread method kept families fed. Hot bread meant morale. Morale meant survival through the next river crossing. Prairie fire coals transformed simple flour and water into golden loaves. Steam trucked underground, crust crackling when unearthed hours later. Mary's technique spread wagon to wagon, mothers teaching daughters. Buried bread becoming trail tradition, hope rising from buried coals. Every loaf carried message. Civilization travels in Dutch ovens. Home is wherever bread rises. Comfort grows from prairie dirt. Number 2. Coffee grounds recycled 7 times, stretching precious beans into weeks of morning ritual. Coffee grounds lasted further than wagon wheels, providing multiple brewings from single handful. 1849. When coffee cost more than gold dust, California-bound families rationed every precious bean. Grounds became currency of consciousness. Jacob Miller counted his coffee beans in Missouri. March 1849, 73 beans between Independence and Sacramento. Math said impossible. Ingenuity said otherwise. First brew, full-strength morning. Second, afternoon pick-me-up. Third through seventh, progressively weaker. Still coffee, still comfort. During mountain passes, weak coffee meant liquid courage. Crossing rivers, it meant warm bellies. Fighting scurvy, it meant vitamin hope. Same grounds producing 7 different strengths. Each brewing, extracting different flavors. Final cup, tasting like determination mixed with prairie dust. Miller's 7U's method became wagon train standard, grounds passing hand to hand. Coffee lasting until Oregon Territory appeared through mountain gaps. Every cup carried message. Resourcefulness trumps abundance. Comfort comes in many strengths. Hope brews in any condition. Number 3. Bacon grease saved ass liquid gold. Golden liquid stored carefully in jars meant life or death. Bacon grease preserved, flavored, and sustained families across 2,000 miles of uncertainty. 1846, when every calorie counted double. Families learned that throwing away grease meant throwing away life. Fat meant fuel for human engines. Elizabeth Donner saved every drop near Fort Laramie, Wyoming. June morning, 1846. Her children needed calories. Grease jar became family bank account. Pour hot bacon drippings into glass jar. Seal tight, carry in wagon. Use for frying, seasoning, even emergency candle wax. During winter trapping, saved grease meant difference between starvation and strength. Calories concentrated in golden liquid. Energy stored in mason jars. Prairie vegetables fried in bacon grease. Wild greens tasting like home cooking. Cornmeal mush transformed into something worth eating. Elizabeth's grease jar lasted from Missouri to California. Daughters learning to save every drop, fat becoming family tradition passed through generations. Every spoonful carried message. Waste nothing, want nothing. Flavor travels in mason jars. Survival tastes like bacon grease. Number 4. Hardtack soaked in coffee for breakfast mush, transforming rock-hard biscuits into edible morning sustenance. Hardtack softened from dental nightmare into comfort food through patience and heat. 1850. When breakfast meant whatever you could soften enough to chew, hardtack alone broke teeth. Coffee alone left empty stomachs. Samuel Porter discovered combination near Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. Dawn breaking, April 1850. Break hardtack into chunks. Pour hot coffee over pieces. Wait 10 minutes. Stir into porridge-like consistency. Add sugar if available. During river crossings, coffee-soaked mush provided energy for wagon lifting. Warm breakfast, meaning strong backs. Soft food, meaning working teeth. Rock-hard biscuits becoming coffee-flavored porridge. Steam rising from tin bowls. Children actually finishing their breakfast without complaining. Porter's method spread among families with bad teeth. Elderly pioneers blessing soft food. Coffee mush becoming morning ritual from independence to Oregon. Every spoonful carried message. Hardship softens with patience. Breakfast adapts to circumstances. Comfort comes from making do. Number 5. Wild onions pickled in vinegar barrels. Preserved vegetables became medicine when scurvy threatened entire wagon trains. Wild onions fermented in barrels, fighting disease while adding flavor to monotonous trail food. 1848, when vegetables meant life or death. Scurvy killed more pioneers than river drownings. Vinegar and wild plants became medical salvation. Dr. Thomas Mackenzie prescribed pickled onions near Independence Rock, Wyoming. August afternoon, 1848, his wagon train showing signs of vitamin deficiency, gather wild onions from prairie patches, pack in wooden barrels with vinegar. Let fermentation work magic while oxen pull westward. During scurvy outbreaks, pickled onions saved entire families. Vitamin C concentrated in tangy bulbs, medicine disguised as condiment, sharp vinegar cutting through bland trail food, wild onions adding zing to beans and bacon. Fermentation creating probiotics for digestive health. Mackenzie's barrel method kept families healthy from Missouri to Oregon Territory. Pickled onions becoming trail medicine. Vinegar barrels worth their weight in gold. Every bite carried message. Medicine grows wild on prairie. Health travels in vinegar barrels. Survival tastes tangy and sharp. Number 6. Buffalo chips burned clean and hot, turning animal byproduct into cooking salvation. 1847, when trees disappeared behind wagon wheels. Families faced choice, cold food, or creative fuel sources. Buffalo herds left their gift scattered everywhere. Martha Reed collected her first chips near Platte River, Nebraska. May morning, 1847, her husband laughed. Her children needed hot food. Gathered dried buffalo dung from prairie, stacked like cordwood under wagon, burn in small piles. Burns hot, clean, virtually odorless when properly dried. During thunderstorms, buffalo chips stayed drier than wood. Prairie fuel, meaning hot meals meaning family morale through difficult river crossings. Animal waste transformed into cooking fire. Flames licking Dutch oven bottoms, heat consistent enough for bread baking, stew simmering. Martha's chip collection became daily routine. Children competing to find biggest chips. Buffalo fuel powering westward journey from Nebraska to Oregon. Every flame carried message. Resources hide in unexpected places. Fuel comes from nature's recycling. Survival burns, buffalo bright. Number 7. Jerky pounded with berries into pemmican concentrated. Protein and fruit created portable powerhouse lasting months. Pemmican combined jerky and berries into energy bars needing no refrigeration. 1849, when fresh meat spoiled in 3 days. California gold rushers needed protein that traveled well. Native techniques became pioneer salvation. Chief running bear-taught technique to James Wilson near Fort Kearny, Nebraska, trading knowledge for coffee. Pound dried jerky into powder. Mix with dried berries, animal fat, form into bars. Wrap in hide, stores indefinitely without refrigeration. During desert crossings, pemmican provided sustained energy, protein and fat fueling human engines. Berries adding vitamins to concentrated calories. Simple ingredients creating nutritional perfection. Sweet berries, balancing salty meat, fat binding everything into portable energy bars. Wilson's pemmican fed his family from Nebraska to California. Recipes shared wagon to wagon, native wisdom saving pioneer lives. Every bite carried message. Nutrition concentrates with knowledge. Energy travels in small packages. Survival tastes like wild berries. Number 8. Sourdough starter, carried in flour barrel living culture, traveled 2,000 miles, creating fresh bread without store-bought yeast. Sourdough starter became traveling companion, providing bread throughout journey. 1846, when yeast died crossing rivers. Families needed bread that rose without store-bought ingredients. Living dough became traveling companion. Anna Paulson carried starter from Missouri to Oregon Territory, keeping culture alive in flour barrel. Feeding starter like family pet. Keep starter in cool flour barrel. Feed with flour and water weekly. Use for bread, pancakes, even pizza dough around evening campfire. During winter emergencies, sourdough starter meant difference between survival and starvation. Living yeast creating risen bread from nothing, wild yeasts captured from prairie air. Fermentation bubbling in flour barrels, starter growing stronger with each feeding, each mile westward. Anna's starter produced bread for 30 families. Shared culture spreading wagon to wagon. Living dough connecting Missouri to Oregon Territory. Every loaf carried message. Life grows with care and feeding. Bread rises from living culture. Home travels in flour barrels. Number 9. Prairie turnips dug and roasted in coals. Wild roots provided essential carbohydrates where cultivated vegetables couldn't grow. Prairie turnips sustained families through months without traditional vegetables. 1848, when scurvy threatened entire wagon trains. Families needed vegetables that grew wild on endless prairie. Native plants became nutritional salvation. Sioux Guide showed technique to Margaret Thompson near Scotts Bluff, Nebraska. June morning, 1848. Her children showing signs of vitamin deficiency. Identify prairie turnips by distinctive leaves. Dig roots with sharp stick. Roast in hot coals until tender. Tastes like cross between potato and radish. During vegetable shortages, prairie turnips prevented scurvy. Wild carbohydrates, meaning sustained energy. Fresh roots, meaning vitamin salvation. Prairie fire, coals, roasting wild roots, steam escaping from underground ovens. Children discovering vegetables could taste good, even wild. Margaret's turnip gathering became daily routine. Family learning to read prairie-like grocery store. Wild roots sustaining health across Nebraska Territory. Every bite carried message. Nutrition grows wild underfoot. Vegetables adapt to prairie conditions. Survival digs deep for sustenance. Number 10. Milk churned to butter in hanging buckets. Motion-powered dairy turned wagon, jolting into fresh butter. Milk buckets hanging from wagon sides transformed prairie movement into cooking process. 1847, when fresh butter cost luxury prices. Families with milk cows needed preservation method. Wagon movement became mechanical advantage. Sarah Mitchell hung first bucket from her wagon near Chimney Rock, Nebraska. Morning milking, July 1847. 20 miles later, butter. Fill wooden bucket with fresh cream. Hang securely from wagon side. Let prairie ruts and oxen jolting churn cream into butter naturally. During river crossings, butter making continued. Rough terrain meaning better churning. Fresh butter meaning vitamin-rich calories for growing children. Wagon wheels grinding prairie into powder. Hanging buckets swaying with oxen rhythm. Cream transforming into golden butter without human effort. Sarah's hanging bucket method spread among dairy families. Motion-powered butter production. Mechanical churning from Missouri to Oregon Territory. Every pat carried message. Work happens while traveling. Motion creates kitchen magic. Comfort churns from prairie jolting. Number 11. Beans cooked overnight and buried. Dutch ovens' sleep-powered cooking meant hot breakfast, requiring no morning fire tending. Beans buried in coals overnight emerged perfectly cooked at dawn, 1849, when fuel was precious and sleep was scarce. California-bound families needed cooking method that worked while they rested. Underground became automatic kitchen. Miguel Santos taught technique to wagon train near Fort Laramie, Wyoming. Mexican vaquero sharing knowledge. Soak beans overnight first. Place in Dutch oven with water. Bury in hot coals before sleep. Dig up at dawn. Perfectly cooked beans waiting. During cold mountain nights, Buried beans stayed warm all night. Underground cooking, meaning hot breakfast meaning energy from mountain climbing. Prairie coals, maintaining consistent heat underground. Steam cooking beans to tender perfection. Earth becoming slow cooker for sleeping families. Santos's buried bean method fed wagon trains from Wyoming to California. Underground cooking becoming trail standard. Sleep-powered nutrition crossing mountain passes. Every spoonful carried message. Earth cooks while you sleep. Patience creates perfect texture. Survival bubbles underground all night. Number 12. Wild game smoked on green willow racks preservation method transformed hundreds of pounds of meat into winter survival. Smoked game created jerky lasting months without spoiling. 1846, when fresh meat spoiled in summer heat. Hunters needed preservation method for buffalo, deer, antelope. Greenwood became natural smoker. John Bridger built first rack near Platte River Crossing, Nebraska. June, afternoon, 1846. Buffalo kill, feeding 30 families if properly preserved. Cut fresh willow branches into rack framework. Slice meat thin, hang strips on willow, build smoky fire underneath. Smoke for 3 days. During buffalo encounters, smoking racks processed hundreds of pounds of meat. Protein preservation, meaning winter survival, smoked meat traveling without spoilage. Green willow imparting subtle flavor to wild game. Smoke penetrating meat fibers, sun and wind completing preservation process. Bridger's smoking method preserved meat from Nebraska to Oregon territory. Willow racks, meaning protein security. Smoked game sustaining families through mountain winters. Every strip carried message. Preservation extends hunting success. Smoke conquers spoilage. Survival tastes like willow-scented protein. Number 13. Cornmeal mush, cooked in tin cups over coals. Portable porridge solved family feeding logistics without large cooking pots. Individual tin cups allowed each person to cook personal portions simultaneously. 1848. When cooking vessels were limited and families were large, everyone needed hot breakfast, but pot space was precious. Individual cooking became solution. Rebecca Foster invented cup method near Independence Rock, Wyoming. September morning, 1848. 7 children, 1 cooking pot, creative problem solving. Fill tin cup with cornmeal and water. Place cup directly on hot coals. Stir frequently, cooks in 10 minutes. Each person gets personal portion. During fuel shortages, cup cooking used minimal firewood. Individual portions meaning fair distribution. Hot mush meaning satisfied children through morning travel. Tin cups conducting heat evenly. Cornmeal transforming from powder to creamy porridge. Personal cooking meaning customized sweetening with honey or molasses. Rebecca's cup method solved feeding problems for large families. Individual cooking becoming wagon train standard. Personal portions from Wyoming to Oregon territory. Every cup carried message. Solutions scale to family size. Individual portions prevent fighting. Survival serves everyone fairly. Number 14. Cattail roots, ground into flour. Substitute emergency carbohydrate source, grew wild along river crossings. Cattail roots transformed into flour when wheat supplies ran dangerously low. 1847, when flour barrels emptied faster than expected. Families needed grain substitute that grew wild along river crossings. Marsh plants became bakery salvation. Paiute guide taught technique to Elizabeth Donner near Humboldt River, Nevada. October morning, 1847. Flour supplies critically low, winter approaching. Gather cattail roots from marsh edges, clean thoroughly. Dry in sun, grind between stones. Creates flour-like powder for bread making. During desert crossings, cattail flour extended wheat supplies. Wild carbohydrates, meaning continued bread production. Fresh flour, meaning family morale through difficult terrain. Marsh roots, transforming into baking ingredient. Stone grinding, creating fine powder. Wild flour producing edible bread despite unusual source. Elizabeth's cattail grinding saved her family from starvation. Root flour lasting through Sierra Nevada crossing. Wild ingredients supporting bread production to California. Every loaf carried message. Flour grows wild in marshes. Grinding transforms roots into sustenance. Survival adapts recipes to available ingredients. Number 15. Pine needle tea, brewed for vitamin C. Evergreen Pharmacy provided scurvy prevention growing on every mountainside. Pine needle tea kept families healthy where fresh fruit was impossible. 1849, when scurvy weakened entire wagon trains. California gold rushers needed vitamin source that grew along mountain trails. Evergreen trees became natural medicine cabinet. Dr. William Anderson prescribed pine tea near South Pass, Wyoming. Mountain crossing, July 1849. Several families showing early scurvy symptoms gather fresh pine needles from young branches. Steep in hot water 20 minutes. Strain, drink warm, provides vitamin C equivalent to citrus fruit. During mountain crossings, pine needle tea prevented scurvy outbreaks. Vitamin medicine growing on every slope. Fresh needles, meaning health maintenance through difficult terrain. Evergreen needles, releasing vitamin-rich oils. Hot water extracting essential nutrients. Mountain medicine tasting resinous, but healing. Anderson's pine tea prescription kept wagon trains healthy from Wyoming to California. Mountain medicine becoming trail standard. Vitamin trees, guiding healthy passage to Oregon Territory. Every cup carried message. Medicine grows on mountain slopes. Vitamins concentrate in green needles. Survival sips from Evergreen Pharmacy. Number 16. Rabbit stewed with wild onions in one pot. Complete nutrition emerged from single pot combining hunting and foraging. Rabbit and wild onions created balanced meals, stretching fuel consumption. 1848, when meal planning meant catching dinner first. Families needed cooking method that combined protein and vegetables efficiently. One-pot meals became nutritional solution. Thomas Baker perfected recipe near Fort Kearny, Nebraska. Evening camp, May 1848. Successful rabbit hunt, wild onions growing nearby. Brown rabbit pieces in Dutch oven. Add wild onions, prairie herbs, cover with water, simmer to hours. Creates complete meal in single pot. During hunting success, rabbit stew provided protein and vegetables together. Balanced nutrition meaning sustained energy. One-pot cooking meaning fuel conservation. Wild game combining with foraged vegetables. Flavors melding over slow cooking. Single pot producing complete meal for entire family. Baker's rabbit stew recipes spread among hunting families. One-pot nutrition becoming evening standard. Complete meals from Nebraska to Oregon Territory. Every bowl carried message. Hunting and foraging complement each other. Complete nutrition fits in one pot. Survival combines protein with vegetables. Number 17. Dried corn ground between flat stones portable milling operation replaced grist mills left behind in Missouri. Flat stones became traveling mill, creating cornmeal throughout 2,000-mile journey. 1846, when grist mills were left behind in Missouri. Families carried whole corn kernels needed grinding method. Flat stones became traveling mill. Mexican trader taught technique to wagon train near Bent's Fort, Colorado. Stone grinding, September 1846. Select 2 flat stones, one with slight depression. Place corn kernels in depression. Grind with circular motion. Creates coarse to fine cornmeal. During mill shortages, stone grinding provided fresh cornmeal. Hand processing meaning continued bread production. Ground corn meaning sustained carbohydrate supply. River stones worn smooth by water action. Corn kernels crushing between granite surfaces. Hand power creating flour-like consistency. Mexican grinding method produced cornmeal from Colorado to California. Stone mills becoming wagon necessity. Hand grinding supporting bread production across desert crossings. Every handful carried message. Mills travel in stone form. Grinding transforms kernels into flour. Survival turns stones into kitchen tools. Number 18. Wild mint dried for digestive tea. Natural remedy dried quickly in wagon shade, treating stomach troubles. Wild mint healed digestive problems, plaguing families, eating unfamiliar trail food. 1847. When stomach troubles weakened travelers. Diet changes and bad water caused digestive issues. Wild herbs became natural pharmacy. Cherokee guide taught technique to Mary Sublet near Sweetwater River, Wyoming. Gathering medicine, August 1847. Identify wild mint by distinctive smell and serrated leaves. Gather before flowering. Dry in wagon shade. Steep in hot water for digestive relief. During stomach illness outbreaks, mint tea soothed digestive systems. Herbal medicine meaning continued travel. Settled stomachs meaning maintained strength. Wild mint releasing healing oils when dried. Hot water extracting digestive properties. Mountain medicine tasting refreshing while healing. Cherokee mint gathering kept wagon trains moving from Wyoming to Oregon Territory. Wild pharmacy providing natural remedies. Herbal healing supporting westward journey, every cup carried message. Medicine grows wild along trails. Digestion heals with mountain herbs. Survival brews, natural remedies. Number 19, antelope jerky cut into thin strips. Precise cutting technique maximized preservation speed in harsh desert conditions. Paper thin, slicing created lightweight protein surviving months without refrigeration. 1849, when fresh meat spoiled within days. California gold rushers needed protein preservation that worked in desert heat. Thin cutting became preservation science. Shoshone hunter taught technique to James Wilson near City of Rocks, Idaho. Antelope kill, September 1849. Slice antelope meat along muscle grain, thin as possible. Hang strips on willow racks. Desert sun and wind, complete drying process in 2 days. During desert crossings, thin jerky provided concentrated protein. Lightweight nutrition, meaning easy packing. Preserved meat, meaning protein security through Nevada territory. Sharp knife, creating paper-thin meat strips. Desert wind, removing moisture completely. Sun-dried protein concentrating into portable nutrition. Shoshone jerky method preserved meat from Idaho to California. Thin cutting becoming standard technique. Protein engineering supporting desert survival. Every strip carried message. Thickness determines preservation success. Desert conditions, perfect meat, drying. Survival slices, protein thin. Number 20. Wild berries mixed with tallow for travel cakes, energy bars, combine natural sugars with rendered fat, creating sustained fuel. Berry tallow cakes provided concentrated calories for strenuous mountain climbs. 1848, when sugar supplies ran low and energy needs were high. Families needed concentrated calories that traveled well. Berry fat combinations became energy solution. Mountain man taught technique to wagon train near Green River, Wyoming. Energy, food preparation, July 1848. Collect wild berries, service berries, chokecherries, huckleberries. Mix with rendered tallow from buffalo or deer. Form into cakes. Hardens into portable energy bars. During mountain climbing, tallow cakes provided sustained energy. High-calorie nutrition, meaning strength for difficult terrain. Energy bars, meaning endurance through physical challenges. Wild berries providing natural sugars, animal fat contributing concentrated calories. Simple ingredients, creating nutritional powerhouse. Mountain man's tallow cake recipe fueled families from Wyoming to Oregon territory. Energy bars becoming climbing food. High-calorie survival supporting mountain passage. Every bite carried message. Energy concentrates in simple combinations. Fat and sugar fuel human engines. Survival mixes calories for strength. Number 21. Prairie grass seeds, parched for grain, substitute emergency. Grain production harvested from prairie grasses growing everywhere. Parched seeds created flour, substitute when wheat became unavailable. 1847, when grain supplies dwindled faster than expected. Families needed carbohydrate source that grew wild everywhere. Prairie grasses became natural grain field. Lakota guide taught technique to wagon train near North Platte, Nebraska. Grain shortage, June 1847. Gather seeds from prairie grasses, buffalo grass, blue grama, wheatgrass, parch in hot skillet until golden, grind for flour, or eat whole like cereal. During grain shortages, parched seeds provided carbohydrates. Wild grain, meaning continued energy, grass seeds, meaning survival, when wheat supplies failed. Prairie grasses producing nutritious seeds, hot skillet parching seeds to golden perfection. Wild grain creating flour substitute from grassland. Lakota seed gathering sustained wagon train from Nebraska to Wyoming. Prairie grain becoming emergency food. Wild carbohydrates supporting continued westward travel. Every handful carried message. Grain grows wild on prairie. Parching transforms grass into food. Survival harvests from grassland abundance. Number 22. Fish, wrapped in clay and baked in coals. Natural oven created from river clay, steamed fresh fish perfectly. Clay-baked method required no pots while preserving all fish moisture and flavor. 1846, when river crossings provided fishing opportunities. Families needed cooking method that required no pots, no seasonings. Clay became natural cookware. Paiute fishermen taught technique to emigrants near Snake River, Idaho. Fresh trout, August 1846. Coat fresh fish with wet clay, completely encasing. Bury in hot coals. Clay hardens, creating natural oven. Fish steams in, own juices inside clay shell. During river camps, clay-baked fish provided fresh protein. Steam cooking, meaning moist, tender meat. Natural seasoning, meaning fish flavor enhanced, not masked. River clay molding around fresh trout. Hot coals hardening clay into temporary oven. Steam cooking, preserving natural fish flavors perfectly. Paiute clay method produced perfect fish from Idaho to Oregon territory. Natural cooking becoming river tradition. Clay ovens creating gourmet meals from simple ingredients. Every bite carried message. Earth provides natural cookware. Steam preserves flavor better than frying. Survival wraps dinner in river clay. Number 23. Cactus pads roasted for emergency vegetables. Thorny desert plants became vital vitamin source in barren landscape. Cactus pads provided only available fresh vegetables during desert crossings, 1849, when scurvy threatened desert crossers. California gold rushers needed vitamin source in barren landscape. Desert plants became unlikely grocery store. Mexican guide taught technique to wagon train near Humboldt Sink, Nevada. Vegetable emergency, October 1849. Cut young cactus pads, avoiding thorns. Roast over hot coals until thorns burn off, scrape clean. Interior tastes like green beans with slight tartness. During desert crossings, roasted cactus prevented scurvy. Desert vegetables, meaning vitamin salvation. Fresh plant matter, meaning digestive health through Nevada territory. Sharp knife, removing dangerous thorns. Hot coals burning away protective spines. Desert vegetable, revealing edible interior beneath thorny armor. Mexican cactus method saved families from vitamin deficiency. Desert vegetables becoming survival food. Thorny salvation supporting health through barren landscape. Every bite carried message. Vegetables grow even in deserts. Thorns protect nutritional treasures. Survival finds food in unlikely places. Number 24. Bone marrow extracted for cooking fat. Hidden calories in animal bones provided essential cooking fat where scarcity threatened nutrition. Rendered marrow created pure fat storing indefinitely, 1848, when cooking fat was precious as gold. Families needed every calorie, every drop of fat for cooking. Animal bones became hidden treasure. Plains, Indian taught technique to hunting party near Fort Laramie, Wyoming. Fat extraction, September 1848. Crack large bones with stone hammer. Extract marrow with thin stick. Heat in pan until liquid. Strain creates pure cooking fat that stores indefinitely. During lean hunting periods, bone marrow provided essential fats. Extracted calories, meaning sustained energy. Cooking fat, meaning improved food preparation. Stone tools, cracking buffalo leg bones. Marrow extracting like natural butter. Heat rendering marrow into liquid cooking fat. Plains extraction method, maximize nutrition from every kill. Bone marrow becoming cooking resource. Fat engineering supporting survival through hunting cycles. Every drop carried message. Bones contain hidden calories. Marrow extracts into cooking gold. Survival wastes nothing, uses everything. Number 25. Service berries dried into fruit leather. Concentrated vitamin production created portable nutrition lasting months. Dried berries transformed into leather sheets, providing health maintenance through winter. 1847, when fresh fruit was impossible luxury. Families needed vitamin source that kept without spoiling. Wild berries became natural vitamin factory. Crow woman taught technique to wagon train near Yellowstone River, Montana. Berry season, August 1847. Crush service berries into pulp. Spread thin on flat rocks. Sun dry for several days until leather-like roll in bark strips. Stores indefinitely. During vitamin shortages, berry leather prevented scurvy. Concentrated fruit, meaning portable vitamins. Dried berries, meaning health maintenance through winter months. Wild berries crushing into purple pulp. Hot rocks accelerating drying process. Sun creating fruit leather from mountain berry harvest. Crowberry leather sustained families from Montana to Oregon territory. Fruit preservation becoming trail necessity. Vitamin leather supporting health through final mountain crossing. Every sheet carried message. Vitamins concentrate through drying. Fruit leather travels better than fresh. Survival preserves health in portable form. These 25 methods tell pioneers' real story, not story of hardship and suffering. Story of ingenuity and adaptation. Families took whatever prairie provided, made it into something worth surviving on. These techniques survived because they worked, because they took whatever you had, made it into something worth crossing 2,000 miles for. This isn't just cooking history. This is American innovation. When everything else gets stripped away, we still find ways to make do with less. That's pioneer spirit. That's survival wisdom. That's hunger transformed into hope. If these stories touched you, share this video. Subscribe to keep forgotten techniques alive. Because some knowledge transcends convenience. Some wisdom survives everything. Some recipes last forever. Trail cooking, pioneer wisdom. Survival served one method at a time.